According to International Compliance Association (ICA), financial crime over the last 30 years has increasingly become of great concern to governments throughout the world. This concern arises from a variety of issues because the impact of financial crimes varies in different contexts. It is today widely recognized that the prevalence of economically motivated crime in many societies is a substantial threat to the development of economies and their stability. It is possible to divide financial crime into two essential, different but closely related conducts. First, there are those activities that dishonestly generate wealth for those engaged in the conduct in question. For example, the exploitation of insider information or the acquisition of another person's property by deceit will invariably be done with the intention of securing a material benefit. Alternatively, a person may engage in deceit to secure material benefit for another. Second, there are also financial crimes that do not involve the dishonest taking of a benefit, but that protect a benefit that has already been obtained or to facilitate the taking of such benefit. An example of such conduct is where someone attempts to launder the criminal proceeds of another offense in order to place the proceeds beyond the reach of the law. So you will agree with me that we all have to join our hands to see economic and financial crimes brought to its barest minimum, if not totally eradicated. We all have to demonstrate and be committed to this crusade. My name is Aisha Mohammed, and I welcome you to another episode of The Eagle.
My name is Abdurrashid Bawa, the Executive Chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. I want to use this medium to urge all Nigerians to eschew all manner of electoral fraud, either through vote buying, vote selling, or fraudulent manipulations of electoral processes. I'm fully persuaded that we can run our electioneering processes devoid of any form of criminality. Let us all be committed to a free, fair, and credible dealings in the exercise of our democratic rights. Thank you.
For the first time, two prosecutors with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), Sylvanus Tahir and Rotimi Oyedepo, were among 62 senior lawyers that were sworn in as Senior Advocates of Nigeria (SAN). Also sworn in is Wahab Shitu, who has prosecuted several cases for the EFCC. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony at the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, urged the new silk to take on their new status with all sense of responsibility as it required high standards of merit. Ojochokutame Eche has the report.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, has stated that the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, comes with immense prestige, dignity, and greater responsibilities, in that traditionally, those conferred with the rank automatically become members of the inner bar and revered apostles of the Temple of Justice. He stressed that in view of this, it is an honor no conferee can afford to toy with. Ariwola stated that the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee took time to screen and assess all the relevant documents submitted by the applicants before arriving at its decision. He disclosed that 174 lawyers applied for the prestigious rank in 2022, from which the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee settled for 62 candidates, who by all standards can be regarded as eminently deserving of the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami in his remarks urged the new SANs to live up to their new status, as it was one of the most sought-after titles within the legal profession. The executive chairman of the EFCC, Abdurrashid Bawa, who was among dignitaries that witnessed the ceremony, congratulated Tahir and Oyedepo for their groundbreaking achievement as the first set of EFCC staff to bag the prestigious title.
This afternoon, we are celebrating one of our own as a senior advocate of Nigeria. I don't know whether it is called the first senior advocate of Nigeria. I mean, from the EFCC, or the second, because we actually produce two senior advocates of Nigeria. Why is it going to be today? And I'm also very proud, I would say, with one sense of modesty, that it is during my tenure that we have attended all the courses for this commission. And I want to use this opportunity to challenge all the lawyers that are here, and they should emulate our very own two newly minted senior advocates of Nigeria.
Bawa said he was not surprised by their elevation as they have demonstrated passion, industry, and commitment to their profession and the cause of fighting economic and financial crimes in Nigeria. Ojo Chokutami Eche for The Eagle.
My people, my name is Emeka, Mekus Kamat. Let me get all this motor. I don't learn my lesson. Somebody come buy motor for my hand, carry big money, come give me. Now when we get bust, now my eye open. I don't know that 419 be. Now when EFCC grab them, now they come grab me too. Now he make me they warn you, all of them when they do business like me, where they carry big money. Well, I go sometimes I go carry transfer, carry bring back. Yeah, they could not shine in my eye because the special control unit against money laundering, what they call SCUMO, they don't want to say if the money pass 5 million naira for individual, no collect them. If it pass 10 million naira for company, no collect them. Carry and go where? Bank. If you not do them like that, 250,000 naira for every day where this offense happen. Or they go suspend your license, or they go cuckoo, shut them down, pata for your hand. No talk say, I know one you.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
One of the core values of the EFCC is collaboration, as enshrined in the EFCC Establishment Act Section 6J. Collaboration encourages working in partnership with government bodies, both within and outside Nigeria, to carry out functions wholly or in part related with those of the Commission. This is the reason the EFCC is always open to collaborating with stakeholders as it strives to achieve its mandate. In the next two reports, some agencies paid a visit to the Commission to seek for collaboration. Chinonso Alexander Enyi has the details.
The African University of Science and Technology, AUST, has called on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to partner with the university on its new project, Preventive Anti-Corruption Education. The request was made when the President and Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Azikiwe Onwalo, paid a courtesy visit to the EFCC corporate headquarters in Jabi, Abuja. Onwalo stated that the project will support the existing national capacity building initiatives and will undertake assessment of capabilities with a view to improving ministries, departments and agencies' response to the anti-corruption efforts. He invited the EFCC to nominate staff of the commission to participate as members of the advisory board for the project.
The main reason why we came is, first of all, to introduce the university to the commission, and then to now seek for collaboration with the commission on a number of projects where it is possible to partner.
In his response, Secretary to the Commission, George Ikpongo, called for more public policy interrogation. He said that the new EFCC was generating integrity from within and transmitting the same to Nigerians. Ikpongo assured that the Commission's academy will work with the university's management in coming up with a memorandum of understanding that will be beneficial to both organizations.
We also have other collaboration with institutions, ABU, we are trading up with the University of Abuja, the Air Force University, NDA, all of those kind of things. So I thank you very immensely for bringing your university to us, and particularly for the articulation that you have done.
The General Manager, Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas, NLNG, Alagoa Joseph, paid a courtesy visit to the Port Harcourt Zonal Command of the EFCC. Joseph disclosed that the purpose of his visit was to appreciate the Commission for their ceaseless fight against economic and financial crimes, and also the unwavering support the company has been enjoying over the years, especially in the fight against crude oil theft within the South-South zone of the country. He also decried the increasing rate of internet fraud activities and how they are ready to support EFCC personnel in the fight, stating that they interface with information technology and IT experts. Responding, Port Harcourt Zonal Commander of the EFCC, Assistant Commander Nwaneka Nwokeke, thanked Alagoa for the visit and pointed out that the work of the Commission is to ensure the people enjoy the nation, that the magnitude of damage done must be fixed, and that the EFCC is available to rescue the nation from the dreaded monster called corruption. I am Chinoso Alexander Ini, reporting for the Eagle.
I am a Nigerian youth. This is my call to all children and youth of Nigeria to please shun cybercrime. The internet is to assist us to be better at what we do in a positive way, like research our assignments, learning positive trades and marketing. But these days, young people use the internet to commit all kinds of internet crimes. Yahoo has become the order of the day. Brothers and sisters, cybercrime is affecting the mentality of young people. Cybercrime is affecting our performance and grades in school. Cybercrime is affecting our expected role in the society. Say no to cybercrime for a great Nigeria.
The purpose of journalism is to provide citizens with the information they need to make the best possible decisions about their lives, communities, societies, and government. The EFCC understands that without journalism, the world will be ignorant. The media has a great role to play in the actualization of the EFCC's mandate, being the fourth estate of the realm. Hence, the EFCC organized workshops for journalists in some selected states across the country. Ojuchukutami Eche has the details.
Executive Chairman of the EFCC, Abdulrashid Bawa, has disclosed that the Commission has secured 3,328 convictions so far in the year 2022. He made this disclosure in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, while declaring open a one-day training workshop on financial crimes reporting for journalists in the Niger Delta area of Nigeria. According to Bawa, the EFCC has secured 3,328 convictions as at November 18, 2022. The court also ensured that the sum of 755 million naira recovered by the EFCC from a former Accountant General of the Federation and 3 luxury properties recovered from Colonel Bello Fadile, retired, a former aide to former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki, are forfeited to the federal government. He disclosed that the Commission also secured interim forfeiture of 40 assets in Nigeria, the United States of America, London, and Dubai, belonging to former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu. Another court issued a final forfeiture order of 2 properties within Abuja belonging to Diezani Alice Maduike, former Minister of Petroleum Resources. These are just a few of the assets recovered for the federal government of Nigeria alone. The EFCC boss, who spoke through the Port Harcourt Zonal Commander of the EFCC, Nwaneka Nwokeke, stated that the workshop was to enhance capacity of journalists in the discharge of their duties and deepen relationship between the Commission and the media. He stated that the Commission is not resting on its oars, hence the need to seek support of all stakeholders, including the media. Explaining further, the EFCC boss said that the duty of reporting financial crimes requires urgency as the country approaches the 2023 general election, when the nation will be electing a new set of leaders. Bawa pointed out that the political recruitment process is vital to the anti-corruption cause, as speaking leaders with integrity deficit could imperil the campaign and erode the gains of the past few years. Speaking on the topic, challenges of prosecuting economic and financial crimes in Nigeria, ACE SMH Ibekute says the EFCC faces several challenges when it comes to prosecuting economic and financial crimes in the nation. Some of the hitches, Ibekute said, include witness fatigue in the course of prosecution, transfer and retirement of judges and prosecutors, and financial constraints, among others. He therefore enjoined the press to collaborate with the Commission in the fight against corruption because with their commitment and cooperation, the prosecutorial difficulties could be resolved.
We encounter a lot of difficulties during our work in various active fields, particularly in the prosecutorial aspect of our work. We are faced with a lot of frustrations trying to enforce the various regimes, while the laws burden on the top under discussion here. We are unevenly sabotaged in several fronts, sometimes even from quarters that you expect to get the maximum cooperation. It's not forthcoming. We know, we are certain that frustrations are bound, but we are prepared. We prepare ourselves to countenance these frustrations and to forge ahead. and we cannot do that without you. We work as a team. You are part of the stakeholders in this fight against corruption.
Speaking also on best practices in financial crimes reporting, ACE Dele Oyewale charged participants to ramp up their reporting of economic and financial crimes and be more professional. He specifically noted that there are some unreported and underreported cases in crimes that are not followed up and challenged every participant to be more enterprising in their reporting. Oyewale said that the media should be ahead of law enforcement agencies in the investigative reporting of crimes.
Generally, I'm going to use three typologies: the unreported crimes, the underreported ones, and the unfollowed up crimes. Law enforcement agencies, whether the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, the Independent Corrupt Practices, or all other anti-corruption agencies, they are always priding themselves to be very investigative. Yeah, they believe that they have all it takes to investigate, to get results, and to get to the rubber of smoke and ashes concerning any form of criminality. And it is because we are not doing what we are supposed to do as journalists. Now, I'm going to give this example concerning unreported crimes. The media is supposed to be breaking stories. What we call breaking story, there is nothing we are breaking there. Honestly. We are supposed to mention the unmentionables. We are supposed to be able to go beyond the rubber of smoke and ashes. We are supposed to be able to uncover what is being covered.
In his presentations, Head, Cybercrime Section EFCC Headquarters ACE Nuru Buhari Dalhatu gave vivid descriptions of the typologies of cybercrimes across the world and exposed deep working secrets of hackers. He assured the public that at the EFCC, the Commission is ahead of cybercriminals because of the trainings and equipment that officers of the EFCC are exposed to. At a similar event in Kano, the Deputy Director and Head, Legal and Prosecution, Kano Zonal Command of the Commission, Aisha Tahir Habib, also attributed delays in the determination of some high-profile corruption cases to administrative and procedural issues in court, including frequent transfer of judges, which most times forces trial to start de novo. Habib disclosed this while presenting a paper on the challenges of prosecuting economic and financial crimes at a one-day capacity building workshop for journalists in Kano. Tahir stated that cases being handled by judges who retire or were elevated, transferred or become deceased will have to commence afresh, thus resulting in several setbacks for the prosecution as the resources, time and effort spent become wasted. She said this will further frustrate and derail the timely and successful prosecution of the cases, as some of the witnesses may not be available to testify, thus prolonging the prosecution of such cases. Habib also highlighted the increasing sophistication of some crimes, such as cybercrimes, which were not contemplated by the provision of the existing legislations, which she said leaves gaps that are sometimes exploited by the defendants, as criminal cases must be proved beyond reasonable doubt. Tahir, however, acknowledged that the EFCC has been very successful with criminal prosecution despite the challenges. She revealed that the Kano command of the EFCC has secured 180 convictions so far this year alone, but lost only 2.
Economic crimes is broadly defined as a financial crime and can be commission of an illegal act of omission by an individual or group of individuals of taking money or other property belonging to someone else to obtain financial or professional advantage. Some of the examples of financial fraud in economic and financial crimes include fraud, banking fraud, investment fraud, securities fraud, identity theft, money laundering. I think the prevalent one, the most prevalent one amongst youth, sadly, is that issue of cybercrime. As you can see, most of the cybercrime offenses that is being prosecuted are youths, very intelligent young men who, instead of putting their efforts and intellect into other useful ventures, now venture into cybercrime.
The Kano Zonal Commander, Farouk Dogundaji, who represented the Executive Chairman Abdul Rashid Bawa, said the aim of the workshop was to enhance the capacity of the participants by offering them better insights into the work and processes of the EFCC.
The program offers you greater insight into the processes and the procedures of the EFCC. I'm convinced that at the end of today's session, we will all be better informed about the EFCC functions, its challenges, and what we need to do to help her achieve her statutory mandate. Gentlemen of the press, regardless of the challenges that we have faced and we continue to face, I'm happy to report that we are making progress. Many of you are aware of the strides that we have recorded in the fight against corruption, especially in the area of recovery of stolen assets, prosecution of economic and financial crimes offenders.
Dogundaji further sought the support of the media to sustain the remarkable achievements recorded by the Commission, especially in the area of recovery and convictions. He also charged them to assist in educating the electorate to vote wisely and shun all inducements in the forthcoming general election. Assistant Commander of the EFCC, Dele Oyewale, who presented another paper on best practices in financial crimes reporting, harped on the need for ethical journalism and investigative reporting. According to him, journalists have crucial roles to play in the fight against corruption by exposing unethical behaviors and actions in various sectors. In his closing remarks, Head of Media and Publicity of the Commission, DCE Wilson Uwujarin, charged the participants to be professional and always put the public good above their personal interest.
And I just want to add that for us who are still practicing, one of the lessons that I want us to take away from this engagement is the fact that we should see our byline as the essence of our individual brand. Whatever you are going to become as a journalist depends on that byline. And if you place monetary benefit ahead of professionalism, you are not going to go higher in this business.
Uwujarin urged them to support the Commission by collaborating more closely in the fight against corruption. Ojo Chokutami Eche, reporting for The Eagle.
Next on our lineup is Conviction Update with Abbas Abubakar Umar.
Section 46 of the EFCC Establishment Act empowers the EFCC to prevent, investigate and prosecute any form of economic and financial crimes, and one way to carry out this responsibility without any glitch is through enlightenment and reorientation of the general public on the ills and dangers of these crimes. And also the Commission reports events to the public to keep the public abreast of its activities and success. In this week's Convictions Report, the headquarters of the Commission secured 28 convictions. Lagos Command came second with 23. Port Harcourt Command got 12. Kano has 10, while Ibadan and Benin Commands each has 7. Gombe Command of the Commission has 3. Enugu, Makurdi and Sokoto each has 2 convictions to their credit, while the Abuja, Kaduna, Maiduguri, Ilorin and Uyo each secured 1 conviction, making up the total convictions for week 49, that is between 28 November to 2nd December 2022 to 95. Integrity, they say, is doing the right thing when no one is watching. It is defined by Wikipedia as the practice of being honest and showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. The EFCC urges Nigerian citizens to abide by these principles of honesty and integrity, to always do the right thing even when no one is watching. Back to you, Aisha.
And that's it on this week's episode of The Eagle. Don't forget that you can send an email to info@efcc.gov.ng and speak to our officers on 0809 3322644 and follow us on all our social media platforms @official EFCC for all matters relating to economic and financial crimes. Use the EFCC mobile app, the Eagle Eye, to report any fraud you see happening around you. You download the app, you follow the steps and report fraud on the go. And you can also take pictures of corrupt practices and upload them. I am Aisha Muhammad, leaving you with this parting words that says, integrity is the seed for achievement. It is the principle that never fails. Let's stand for integrity. Let's do the right thing always. Goodbye. God bless Nigeria. Please do stay safe, be kind to yourself and to others, and do enjoy the rest of the week.